Hey, viewers and viewresses, my name is General Red Strategist, and welcome back to Sir You're Being Hunted, episode 395 now. So, last episode I friggin' failed my bloody 4 items or less challenge. I know these are left challenge for some reason. Oh god, that was such a dumb frigging ending that was, wasn't it, to that bloody challenge. I was doing so well at that, and then I got sidetracked talking about fucking Lou Bega and somehow managed to distract myself. The thing is, it would have been, I feel like it would have been a more palatable ending to that challenge if I'd actually, died to a robot or something, right? Isn't that the case, Is that not how you lot out there watching this, or watching that rather, would have felt? But no, I had to fail in the stupidest, dumbest possible way, which was a complete slip of the mind, a momentary loss of concentration, and suddenly I completely forget what I'm doing. And I end up putting a 5th item in my inventory slot. Oh dear. I know some people will probably be thinking, oh come on Red, it was only like a tiny brief moment, right? No, that still counts as a fail to the challenge, and besides I'm not going back to it because I've deleted the map anyway to make way for this. Okay. So yeah, back with Sir You're Being Hunted. We're on to a podcast style episode today as we go into Saffron Combe, where they don't like tourists apparently. Oh man. I'm still not quite over my absolute stupidity there in that previous friggin' challenge. Just how on earth I managed that, I don't even know. It happens, okay? It's me, right? You can trust that I, from time to time, will screw things up in quite possibly a really dumb way, okay? Oh dear. So yeah, at some point I'll have to move on to another challenge, but like I say, I think the next few episodes might just be podcast style ones, because once we get to episode 400, I don't know, I feel like I should do something special to mark that occasion, so I don't want to start a new challenge just yet, just in case it ends up running into quite a few episodes, which potentially compromises the ability to do something special for the big 400. But, actually, I kind of wanted to do a podcast-style episode as well, anyway, because there's something actually I did want to talk about, nice topic of conversation. I don't know, have I talked about this already before? I don't think I have talked about it yet on the Sir You're Being Hunted series, because it's still actually something fairly recent. So I'll just talk about it here, and if I've talked about it before, then tough shit. You'll just have to deal with it, ladies and gentlemen. But these last couple of months, I've been taking up a bit of a new hobby here in lockdown and all that. And in essence, the hobby in question is I've tried my hand at baking a little bit. Again, I may have mentioned this in a previous Being Hunted episode, I really can't remember. If I have, then, well, some of the stuff I'm probably about to say now might well be me repeating stuff, but some of it will be new, actually. So basically, I've taken up baking as a bit of a hobby in lockdown and all that, because I do love a good home-baked, home-baked cake or whatever, biscuits, things like that. So originally, a few months ago, I started out, a couple of months ago, I should say, I started out trying out the old Red Family oat biscuit recipe. So this is a recipe that's been handed down from my grandmother to my mother, and now, well, on to me, basically. And it's a fairly simple, easy recipe to do. You have a combination of ingredients, you put them together, mix them all up, and I'll admit, my oat biscuits that I make sometimes, that I bake, they're not the prettiest in terms of their overall shape, things like that. Reality is that the problem with the sort of recipe that I've got, the amount of, the quantity of each ingredient is pretty big. So you do get a lot, but the problem is I have limited space on my baking trays and whatever else have you to actually spread out all the batter and things like that. So I end up having to make really large biscuits. They're pretty big. Oh, careful. Take that, please. There you go. Don't interrupt me whilst I'm talking about oat biscuits or whatever. Nope. Give it. There we go. There we go. Got that. Nope. Poof, you're too close for comfort, bud. Stay where you are. I'll talk about my oat biscuits in a second, just as soon as this guy buggers off.
We've lost the lighter.
Yes, you have. I'm right here, but go away.
Keep looking.
Goof. Okay, you saw me. Jesus, right. Yeah, but as I was saying, so I had my oat biscuit recipe, made that a couple of times, and you know what? They did actually taste quite nice, even if they were a bit clumsy in their presentation, let's put it like that. And namely, very big and a bit shapeless. Because that's the thing, like I say, with the amount of quantities of the ingredients in the recipe, the only issue is you end up with so much batter, and I have only a couple of baking trays to actually put it all on, so I end up having to make really big cookies with what's there, and usually they're quite thick as well. And of course, because there's a lot of porridge oats that I use to make them, they're usually quite crumbly around the edges. So you do have to kind of eat them with a plate, but that they do taste hella nice, which is not bad. I do impress myself, if I may say so. But apart from those oat biscuits, I actually, just this evening in fact, before I started recording this, I tried another recipe that my old mother decided to send over to me. She sent me a recipe basically for making muffins. So she sent me basically the kind of base, I need to stop saying basically. She sent me the kind of base kind of recipe for just a plain muffin. So she sent me that, and on its own, the plain muffins, they don't really taste of all that much. They're a bit kind of, well, they're very plain, let's put it that way. They're not very exciting. But at the end of the basic recipe, she then put a load of instructions on how to make different sort of flavoured versions of it. So, for example, like chocolate flavoured versions using chocolate chips, or blueberry muffins. If you get a handful of blueberries, for example, scatter them into the batter once you've made all that. And that's what I did. I made some blueberry muffins, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm partial to a good blueberry, I must say. And so I tried that out, and yeah, I made a batch of 10 of them. They've come out looking fairly okay. A couple of them were a bit all over the place, because I had quite a bit of batter, so I had to splodge it all in and just hope that it didn't, I don't know, a couple of them basically rose in the oven and started becoming a bit lopsided. But overall, presentation-wise, they look pretty good. And I've done a taste test on one of them already, and that one seemed fine, so yeah. So the trick I've been told, obviously, with muffins, when you bake them, when you've cooked them in the oven, well, not cooked, when you baked them in the oven, basically, the trick with them is that when you pull them out, if you get your finger, and obviously you press the top of them, if the sort of sponge basically then springs back into position after you've pressed down on it with your finger, that's a sign that it should be ready. Because obviously the worst thing with muffins and things like that is if you end up sort of, how should I say, if you don't cook them for long enough, bake them for long enough in the oven rather, and so what you end up with is something that is, fairly well cooked on the outside, but is kind of soggy and not particularly baked on the inside, and that's always the big challenge with them. But the whole springy test is meant to kind of get around that. So if anyone interested in that there in bakery who's never taken it up but is thinking about doing so, little handy trade secret and all that, courtesy of, well, I was going to say courtesy of my mother, but to be honest, that's actually not unique. That's not a unique instruction from her. It's actually a pretty widely known thing in the world of bakery, I would imagine. It's good, and with things like, cookery and bakery and stuff like that, it's always good to start out basic, start out with something simple. So that's what I did. I started out with the oat biscuits, and now I've upgraded to blueberry muffins. I think when I next bake, I don't know when that's going to be, but we'll see. I'm going to, I don't know, I might try muffins again, but I might see if I can get some chocolate chip, well, like a bag of chocolate chips from my supermarket, local supermarket. And I might see then if I can make some, chocolate flavoured muffins by probably, how should I say, just by basically mixing a load of chocolate chips into the batter once I put that together. And that should be fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. Right, let me just put an alarm clock over here. So, whack it down. It's only on 10 seconds, it should be fine. Oh yeah, so that's what I'm thinking about doing. But I'm thinking actually, what might be interesting to try maybe is if I buy like a big bar of Cadbury's milk chocolate or something and try sort of melting that in a glass bowl. As you do, you basically get a glass bowl, you get a pan, a saucepan, put some water in it, basically put the saucepan of water on the hob on a good heat, And then, of course, when the water starts boiling, you get the glass bowl with the chocolate, broken up chocolate bars inside it. You melt all that chocolate in the bowl. And I'm thinking, what if you were to then add that to the batter mixture and then mix it all in? Could you sort of then make like a full-on proper chocolate muffin? Or a chocolate cupcake, or whatever you want to call it? I'm sure you probably could, I imagine actually all you American viewers out there probably don't call them muffins, you probably call them cupcakes. Which, makes sense. But having said that, over here in the UK, I feel like cupcakes refer to something very specific, whereas muffins don't. I mean, every time I've ever tried a cupcake here in the UK, it's always been something that's got like a very flat top to it, so to speak. But, whenever I try a muffin, it's more kind of like a rounded, kind of ballooning top, if that makes sense, which it probably doesn't, to be honest. But, well, who knows? Maybe you see what I mean, maybe you don't. Oh man, look at all the friggin' booze in this place. And trombone, nice. Okay, give me the doors. Cheese! Grommet, there we are. Give me all that, lovely. So yeah, that's Red's baking plans for the coming months. Obviously, the only thing with the blueberry muffins that I've created is because they've got fruit in them. That means I am going to have to eat them up fairly quickly. Because obviously that's the only thing with, cakes and confectionery that's got fruit in it. Unless it's like a dried fruit or something which lasts for a while, which in this case it isn't. You do need to eat it up quick. So, yeah, I'm going to be eating lots of blueberry muffins over the coming days. I suppose then again, if I have a bit of an abundance of them, I'm probably not going to eat them all. I could always just give them away to a neighbour or something, some of them. I'm sure some neighbours would appreciate that if need be. Oh, who's this here? Oh, I'll eat your mince. That's what I'll have. Oh yes, well there you go, man. And after I've done chocolate muffins, who knows? Because my mother left a couple of other suggestions on her little plain muffin recipe for how to make things like lemon muffins or banana muffins. The only thing is, they sound like they might be a bit more complex. So I think for lemon muffins, for example, you have to get like lemon rind and do something with it. So it sounds like it might require a bit more work. And you have to like get the lemon juices or rind or whatever mixed in with the muffin mixture. Whereas for banana ones, I'm not sure. Obviously, you're going to need to get a banana, but you're probably going to need to like mash it all up. Maybe, I don't know. That's the thing. Oh, what am I doing? I've got a device piece. I should head back over to the standing stones. But yes, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I should take a picture of my muffins and throw it up on the screen round about now, so you can all have a look at that. Just before I dump this device piece here and start rounding up, or rounding off this episode. Gare's been recording there for just over 10 minutes, and you know what? I think that's fine for a Sir You're Being Hunted episode, isn't it? Whoa, that's a dog. Okay, just stay crouched down here. Okay, so in that case, I am going to wrap this episode up here. So Facebook and Twitter links down below, along with the link to my propagandist channel for anyone interested. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And I'll see you in the next episode, ladies and gentlemen, where we'll just have another podcast-style chat. Let me know in the comments, of course. Where are you going? Stop it. Fucking dog. Bloody hell. Fucking things. They always come in the wrong direction, don't they? Yeah, I was just going to say, maybe it's a topic of conversation. Let me know in the comments. Any bakers out there, or, amateur bakers, that is, at least. What sort of stuff do you like baking? Or, perhaps more generally, what's your favourite type of cake, confectionery? I don't know. It might be something to talk about. Goodbye, everybody. Can I get it some position better if I do this? So, okay, hang on. Cracked it, ladies and gents. There we go. So there's more stuff up here, see? Oh God, Jesus, dude! You little shit! I thought I could fucking hear something. Well, that was a fucking jump scare, wasn't it? Good lord. I didn't realise this was a bloody horror game now, all of a sudden. Oh, you all enjoyed that, didn't you? You thought that was fucking hilarious, probably. I think I can hear another one, though.